各位亲爱的网友朋友，大家好。
Hello, everyone.
今天呢，我们举办这个清明功德念佛班。
So today we're having this Qingming Merit online chanting class
生的有缘的人
to chant for all departed, all who have karmic bond with us,
一切
and
去世的人
all
生的人
the departed souls who
还为这
have
个
died in the
尤其是
war,
这个俄乌战争
especially
还有
in the Ukraine
这个
Russian
瘟疫
war, and all the people who died in the pandemic,
为这几年
and
因为各种
for
或交通事
all
故
of those who died these years because of accidents or any kind of accidents or calamities, and all of those lonely souls, and all of those who have the fortune to join this class. I mean, for all the ancestors and their former parents of all the people who have the fortune to come to this class, we chant for them. And would it be effective if we chant for so many people? Yes. And especially the ancestors who have the blood connection with us and who have the bond with us will affect our life. In the past, I have already mentioned, if our ancestors are suffering in hell, we will suffer too. And if their tomb is leaking or maybe has a big hole that animals will crawl in and out, then our lives may have some misfortunes, like maybe losing money or getting ill or some other misfortunes. And a lot of people don't know about this. I know this fact. And there are some people who have already who raised some questions before. Well, Joyce and Christine, if our online friends have questions right now, I can answer their questions too. So, hello, Grandmaster. In the Qingming Festival, we commemorate our ancestors. So some ask, so for all of those ancestors, how do we know how they are, like whether they are good or bad? How do we know? So thank you, Grandmaster. Grandmaster says, so first of all, if you have a master who you take refuge in, then you can ask them, ask him or ask her, or you can ask maybe a very good psychic. They probably would know. If you don't have any opportunity to ask and you don't have a master to ask, so sometimes you may know through your dreams. In your dream, maybe you see your departed ancestors. They say, for example, they're wearing rags and they are worrying, and they even ask you for food or for money, and you even see that he is being beaten or he's ill, or you see his terror. Then all of these prove that he's not in a good situation. So the dreams are quite important. And also, if you directly see or dream of the ancestral tombs are leaking or having fire or have a hole or something that is not auspicious and has something to do with the ancestral tombs, whether you see directly with your eyes or maybe you see in your dreams, then those are not very good. Christine says, in the last live stream, an online friend asked, so he or she had a dream, and his grandparents asked the grandchildren to cook for them, and the ancestors asked them to give them rice and oil. So what do that mean? Oh, that means, Grandmaster said, it means that they don't have these over there. They don't have food there, or maybe they are asking their descendants to make merits for them, to accumulate merits for them. This is very clear. And so they need food and merit. So usually what you can do is that if you can burn the joss paper, and especially at the Qingming Festival or the anniversary when they died, then you can burn those joss paper, joss sticks. And when I burn those, I usually try to find a paper burning bucket, and so there are lots of holes on the bucket, and the usual buckets they don't have the holes, so there won't be many air coming in, so it won't be able to burn so well, so it won't be burned thoroughly. And so if you go to a Chinese community, it's sometimes it's quite easy to find a bucket like this, especially for burning the joss paper. And so sometimes when I go to a country, I will bring this kind of bucket and go to a place where there's no people and no trees, and so I can burn them, so there won't be any, fire, and I won't burn any trees, and I only leave after everything is completely distinguished, the fire. And so this will help somehow. Thank you, Grandmaster. And for the dreams, so for those already deceased ancestors, when they say, "Oh, come with me," or if they eat together, like in the dream, the current eating with the ancestor, or they sleep on the same bed or live in the same room or something. So what does that mean? Oh, these are not good. So whether you feel healthy or not, whether you are young or old, or full of sunshine or not, so these dreams are not very good. Whether they feed you food, or they like you and call you over and say, "Oh, come with me," or sleep on the same bed or something like that, these are not good. They are already deceased. What do they want? They want you to go with them, to accompany them. So you need to have a way to break this. So say, for example, we offer lights, or we chant for them. So these are very good ways, very auspicious ways. And some people would ask masters to do some rituals. And in different religions, they have different ways. And in our school, we accumulate merits, make offerings to practitioners, to help poor people, and to accumulate merits. Maybe you are still young, it's not time for you to go, but your ancestor call you to go and be with them. But I think because Buddha's light shine on all, to pray for Buddha to satisfy their needs, and at least you should live until 99, and then it would be better to And if you're only 39 right now, you still have a family to look after, and you still have a lot of things that you need to do. And so accumulate merits is the best way to break it. And right now there's a friend, Jessica, said she dreamed that her father, in a dream, that her father is in the ward, but nobody is looking after him. So what does this dream mean? Oh, so the father has already departed. Oh, so that means the father hasn't been released. The soul hasn't been released. And so maybe the soul is still wandering around. And so first of all, you need to worship them and burn the joss paper and join this chanting class to chant for him and make offerings and accumulate merits for him, and then the dream will be different. Oh, you happen to have the dream at this time, and at this time of Qingming Festival, all the dreams have some meanings. It's all because your ancestors or relatives, they are giving you some messages. So Joyce, yeah. So right now is the Qingming Festival. These ancestors would be very easy to come and send us messages. And this friend said, "Oh, I dreamed of my departed grandmother, and I dreamed that I was helping her to do the shower, to take the bath, and I only." Did the massage, half of the massage, and I haven't finished it yet. So this is a good thing. So when they're taking the bath, there's some people would rub on the back and rub away all the dirt. And this is a good thing, because you're removing all those dirt. Maybe you have done some merits and you have. So this is a message too. This is like a video message. So the grandmother's bad karma is reducing and maybe even will be completely cleared. Yeah, so this is good. I'm sure you have a lot of questions like these. Today we will still chant. I know if I answer all of your questions, maybe we'll have to talk 3 hours, and we won't be able to answer all of yours. So we can only briefly answer some of the questions. So the big question is how we know, the departed soul is auspicious or not. So first we can ask masters or psychics, and the second way is through dreams. And any other ways? Do we have any other ways? So just now I. According to my level, how do we know whether they go up or go down? So the message can be seen on their previous residence or on their descendants. So this is a way, but it's hard to teach you how to see the message. And also on the tomb, usually you can't see anything, but maybe you can just tell whether it's good or bad. Maybe some, when the parents were still alive, the children didn't look after them well, or maybe their relationship hasn't been very good. Maybe before they died, they got very angry about the children, and so would these affect, whether the ancestors will be good or bad. So Grandmaster says this is a different story. Everybody left in the world will have something, unpleasant, or maybe have some fights. You cannot avoid it. Some people have a better temperament, and then they have less. Some people have not so good, so they have more of these unpleasant things. It doesn't have anything to do with whether you're going up or down. Some people, they have bad temper, but then they have good virtue. Maybe they are always rushing, and then they have a rough temper, but then they also do a lot of good merits. So it doesn't mean that they won't be able to. So when you're talking about the relationship, so the living and the departed, if they have had some fights before or some conflicts before,
会不会他这个得罪的人已经往生了，和他又有关系，对不对？
Those people, the person who have already died, because of those conflict, would the conflict affect the living? Yeah. So we usually will do some merits to make up. Say, for example, we need to repent.
在像这个清明节到来的时候，你也可以。
Upon the arrival of Qingming Festival, you can also, offer remembrance of them, and also from your bottom of your heart, you repent, whether it is a person or a soul. When we very sincerely repent, they usually will forgive, and so I hope everyone will repent your mistakes in the past. Thank you, Grandmaster. So now, a lot of our online friends are very concerned about after our, loved ones depart. So how to bury them to be good for the depart and also for the living, for the deceased and also for the living. So is there anything that we should take care of? So Grandmaster says, now it is different time. It's different time now, so there are lots of changes. In the past, very rarely would be someone be born in the hospital, right? In the past, most people are in the field, in the farm, and right now we need a birth certificate. And some seniors said, oh, no, at that time nobody can issue a birth certificate because they were born at home, and so only mom can issue birth certificate. And so in the past, people are usually born at home. Now in the city, more developed countries, because they're more developed, and then when they deliver a child, they will go to the hospital. So both giving birth and die, they all have changed. In the past, most Chinese people, especially northern Chinese, Henan and Shanxi and Beijing people, after they pass away, they usually will put the dead body in the coffin. In the south, do they throw in the ocean? No. Even though they have a lot of lakes and rivers, but they still buried in the ground. Even though we don't have such good, conditions that can be buried underground. Before, the dead body will be put into the coffin and buried underground. But now, so it is completely different. And so right now, usually after someone is passed away, then first the dead body will be cremated, and then the ash box will be buried. So what if so you put the ash box, in somewhere that's looked after by one company, and what if the old company left and the new company comes, and where can you find the ash box? box. And in Singapore and in some countries, they couldn't find the graveyard anymore, and because they need to build new buildings, and then they will probably just put some ads on the newspaper and they say, oh, we're going to build a new building, and if you do not come and pick up, then we're just going to, you know, use the land anyways. And so usually right now, the dead body is cremated. I think it's good. Then it's just, it's already the end of the life. The dead body buried underground, it will, you know, you cannot come back to life anyways, right? So even the dead body is cremated, you don't feel pain, right? Some old people, because they are old and then they're quite sick, then they will tell their relatives and say, oh, after I leave one day, don't burn me because I don't want to be painful. Actually, after you die, you don't have any, you don't feel anything, so you don't feel pain. And the whole body would just turn into some ashes. So where should you put the ashes? In some developed cities, like in Hong Kong or Singapore, they have some organizations, they have those kind of like, it's like a pagoda, like a columbaria. Yeah. So they build like a shape like a pagoda, and then they put the ash box inside. Because now the land is very precious. Farmlands are not allowed to, you know, do these or build something. And so when they so when they have these columbaria, they would build a big building, and it's more like a safety box, like in the bank, and then you just have that space, and then it costs you a certain amount of money, and then so the more the higher the building is, so they can have more spaces for the ash boxes and they can make more money. And I think if you put the ash box into those columbaria, it's fine. And talking about where to settle these ash boxes, and some people wanted to save money and save space, and they just put the ash box at home. Is it not good? I've heard about it. Very rarely would people do that. Usually it's just a temporary thing. Say, for example, my hometown is in Shandong province in China. Maybe I'm right now in Holland, but if this person died in Holland and temporarily this person cannot, you know, nobody can go back to China, so they would just put the ash box in a very clean and, you know, graceful area, and maybe they would also put a plaque there. Maybe this is the they will put the name there, the father, say for example, they'll put father's name, and maybe in the Qingming Festival or Zhongyuan Festival, they would make some offerings in. So between yourself and your relatives, maybe you have an ash box, and sometimes you would even sit with your father's ash box and talk to your father. It sounds kind of frightening, but because it's your father, then that person don't feel frightened, and especially because he's or she is very sad, and then they cannot talk to anybody else, and they can only talk to the parents, even though the parents, like the father, has already passed away, but still talking to him will help to pacify the body. And very few people would feel that their parents truly have departed, even though they have already passed away. Yeah, they don't feel like that. And so I see a lot of people, when they go to the graveyard, they would make some offerings of the food, and then they would talk to their ancestors or parents' souls, and then they will tell them about what's happening at home, like reporting a lot of the daily issues at home. And yeah, so if they are their ancestors and they have good relationship, and then they don't feel frightened. And so sometimes there is like tradition in feng shui or the culture, like only after the ashes are underground, then it's settled. So it's like a tradition or a culture. But now it's changed because they now have the cremation and they have the ash box. They would bury in the ocean or maybe under the tree or sea bureau. Or so they have created a lot of different ways. So if you have already seen through this world, you don't mind where you put the ashes, right? But it won't be beneficial for the descendants. Maybe for yourself, you pass away and then you don't care where the ashes are, but what your offspring will receive will become. And if you think about them and if you love them, then we should do it in a reasonable way. Say, for example, the dead body is cremated, then the ash box should be buried underground. Now, in the city, they have these columbarium, and it's fine. But I still think that bury under the ground, it would be the best. Ancient people, they always have a reason when they say only after burying underground, then the soul is settled. In many countries, when you buy the space, you don't know. Yeah, because they can only buy the land for 70 years. What if it's already 70 years? So the land of the columbaria, even the company that managed the columbaria, they don't have a permanent right for the land. And when the time expires, then where can they put all the ash boxes? So I think only buried underground, the souls will be settled. This probably would be a better way. And another friend asked a question. So she asked the question. His or her grandmother, lost contact with them, and so the family members, they guess that after a long time they didn't get any information about the grandmother, so they just guess that the grandmother has already passed away. So in this case, they don't have the grandmother's body, and then so what should they do? Should they just set up like a memorial plaque, or so what should they do? Yeah, this is kind of confusing. What if the grandmother is still alive? Then if you have a memorial plaque, it's not good, right? And if she has already passed away, then if you don't have a memorial plaque, then it's not good. So you need to decide, judging on her age and also how long you have lost contact. And maybe if you can ask a psychic to see where exactly she is, probably would be the best. So do you have more questions?
那么还有就是说，我看网友
Also, I read some of the messages and emails that our online friends send to me. Every year, Qingming Festival and Ulaanbaatar Festival, when the souls have the opportunity to be released, and also because of this, the media, a lot of people are quite nervous that they are afraid that they might see ghosts or something, and so they become very nervous. And the little kids, they love to hear those ghost stories, but then after they hear those stories, then they got very frightened and dare not go back home. Or so what should they do? This is actually very clear. Usually, you should wear something, or in your bedroom or in your office, you should have something, some blessed items that has been blessed, some really good practitioners or masters, and if you can wear them or put them in your office and in your bedrooms, in your home, it would be best. And in some very serious situations, then you need to deal with it separately and maybe emphasize. And so the blessed things would be better. Look at the pictures. Usually when I bless, I don't take pictures, but this time when I bless all these, they took the picture, because it's this Qingming Festival time, and if you can wear these blessed items, it doesn't need to be very big, but if you can wear them, then it will increase your auspicious energy. A lot of the blessed items helps to bring that aura around you, and then the evil energy cannot approach you. And when you are weak, sometimes you'll be able to see or hear, or in some special situation, and some people can see them long term. And those people who always do some things that relates to ghosts, it's actually not very good, because you might have a lot of yin energy that might affect your health. So you need to wear these blessed items. So on my table, there are these very big statues. So first of all, this statue of Mahakala. So this first, it will increase our courage and energy. If you make offering and worship this statue, then he will protect you. In Chinese, literally translate is a big black sky. So he represents the skies, and all the dark living beings are afraid of him. So if you worship the statue and make offerings to this statue, then all those evil spirits won't be able to approach you, and even it can protect the whole factory, like 2 square kilometers. And then if you worship this, then it can protect the whole factory. Some companies or factories, they always have some accidents, and they sometimes have fire, or somebody fall or get injured or something. And when you have this statue to protect you, this is very special. Then when Mahakala and statues like this protect you, and then everything will be auspicious and smooth. Now in North America, a lot of people have a big house, and so maybe you have 2 or even 3 stories, maybe only the mother with a child living there, and you feel like it's very empty. And if you have a blessed statue to come and protect you, and the whole home, then it's much better. And if you're doing business, that can increase the energy in your business and also make your heart big and vast, and can help you to break through all the obstacles and also, can you see that in his left hand, it's like the brain. It's so so the spiritual wisdom. So he's supposed to change your mind, change your spirit, so that you can be full of courage and energy. Maybe before you were you do a lot of bad things or evil things, like taking drugs or something, but after you worship this, but Mahakala is the embodiment of Guanyin Bodhisattva, and another statue is the embodiment of Amitabha Buddha. They actually are very compassionate, and but external form is very fierce and very powerful. So Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are not only in one kind of form. So sometimes they send you that spiritual energy through these forms. Those people who commit suicide, they don't have courage to live on. And for a company, when the company has very good business and their stocks worth like $1 billion, when the cost becomes becomes only like $200 million, then they would commit suicide. Why should you commit suicide? 200 million is still a lot. So when they commit suicide, just because their heart is not big enough, you shouldn't have that pressure. You're doing big stuff, and you have a big cause, then your heart needs to be big and vast, like Zhu Yuanzhang to become the emperor. Even the whole world is in chaos, but his mind, his heart is in peace. So then, and can handle all of these, and that's why these statues are embodied in such shapes. It's for bring salvation to us, because we have that fear. We dare not do a lot of things. In today's world, some people say, "Oh, don't use computers. Some computers even explode." And do not use cell phones, because cell phones maybe hurt your eyes. And sometimes these things, it's just because of your mental problem, and it's all caused by the mind. So that's I'm just very briefly explaining this statue. He can bring us infinite energy and courage, so that we can have all compassionate wisdom and can have the courage to go through everything. So I believe all of you who are wearing our blessed items, you will be protected with auspicious energy, so that evil spirits or evil energy will not be able to approach you, so that everything will be smooth and auspicious for you. And so so during this time, I will just briefly explaining what the blessed items are for. I'm not going to tell you any stories about how blessed items protect us. We just have so many. I'm not going to share today. I'm just going just briefly tell you the idea. and why it is that. And also, when Qingming, at the time of Qingming Festival, if you have an ancestral tomb, to clean it, to sweep it, and to repair it. If it's leaking, then you need to repair, and if it is not, the drainage is not good, you need to make sure it's working well, and if there's a hole, then you need to make it up. And if the tomb has too many weeds, then you need to do good weeding. And so also you need to pay attention to safety and make sure with the priority of safety, then you will clean and sweep the tomb very tidy and clean, and it's good for the ancestor and for ourselves. One day we will have to leave this world too, and if the ancestral tomb is very clean and tidy and make the feng shui better, then all the offspring will be good. All the feng shui will be good. So a leader of today's world, one leader of today's world, his grandfather asked a very good feng shui master because he was very, very rich, and so he asked one of the best feng shui masters and asked him to find the best feng shui tomb site with the best feng shui. And so he said, oh, if you pay like $2 billion of silver dollars, then you will be able to get this level of official level, like and then so he said, oh, I can pay more. And so if you have that land, and then that big stone, if you buy that land, then maybe your offspring will have an emperor. So he actually bought that whole land. And then later, so one of the descendants become an emperor. I'm not going to say exactly who this person is. So when we pay respect and revere our ancestors, it's actually when we talk about ancestors, it's your grandparents and your parents. Yeah. They are all very close to you. You need to commemorate them and also revere them and make offerings to them and offer prayers to them and to respect them. Yeah, and so repair and clean the tombs and to offer prayers to them, then our ancestors will be happy. So after the descendants do all these, say for example, tidy up and clean the ancestral tombs and also accumulate some merits for them. Maybe when those deceased, they used to have some grudges with, say for example, the daughter-in-law or something, and now they are trying to make up, and if they accumulate merits, and so if we have already done a lot of things to make up, will we receive some messages or some signs to show us that they are happier? So we have already mentioned about the ways how to see the bad signs, but it's the same ways. And so in the dreams, or we can see the tombs, and also you can see your children, and you'll see, oh, your children used to be very rebellious, but now they're very agreeable, and maybe before you were not very filial to them, and you always think that you were right. But he's senior than you, and before he or she died, and he was, say for example, he was very angry about you, but after he died, maybe all these grudges are not actually good for you. Maybe you have trouble because you're not filial to them, and so you're not filial to him, and then this parent or grandchildren will probably punish you on your children, and so that would be a big trouble. So when we're educating our children, especially the mothers, you definitely need to teach your children, and you also need to, be the role model for them to be filial to your own parents and grandparents. Because if you are not filial, you're not respectful for them, then they will make you suffer. Say, for example, you didn't offer food to them, you didn't give them good food, then maybe they will make your children not have food or something. And so many different ways of punishment, and then you definitely need to repent. And if you blame your maybe you blamed your parents-in-law, and then maybe your children will throw you in the mountains, and so it will be many times more the punishment. When you accumulate merits, you offer one and you get 10,000 times back. And so here it's the same, like 10,000 times. And also you can ask your master or a psychic to see for you and see if your deceased parents have changed. And you can ask me, I can definitely see within 24 hours, at least 10 hours, I can see very clearly. It's very easy to see, very clear. I can see where your parents are and or your ancestors are, and I mean and how they're doing. So that's why you need to respect and your seniors, your parents and grandparents, and including all the deceased ones and ancestors, and then your children will respect you too. And especially Chinese people, because for so many years we haven't had these education about these Chinese culture, but for many years that quite a few people don't have any concept of that. But it's not too late. We still have time to completely change. Well, so Christine said, so those people who have a religious belief, when they pass away, what would they think? Okay, maybe we will pray that our Buddha or Bodhisattva or God will come and pick us and guide us. It's like the children, after they leave the school in the afternoon, then they will say, oh, mom, dad, because your mom and dad are waiting to pick you up. But what if you don't have anybody to pick you up, then you don't know where to go, right? You feel quite lost. And so if we have a belief, a religious belief, and then we have our dearest Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to guide us, then we would feel really good. And so, yeah, her master said, yes, so one day we'll have to go to that date. Right after we were born, then we are already, getting closer and closer to the last stage. And so for the people who can live 70 or 80 years, it's already pretty good. Yeah, like right after we were born, it's already a countdown. But at the time, there are people, when they leave this world, they were actually being caught by those terrible ghosts, and they will be caught and took there, and there will be like 20 maybe dogs biting them, and so it's so terrible. And if you have a religious belief, and before you leave the world, you will be chanting and chanting, and when you actually leave, then Buddhas, Bodhisattvas will pick you up and guide you to the Pure Land. And maybe you can even make arrangements in advance, and and it would be very clear to see that it's just like after school you have Buddhas and Bodhisattvas come to pick you up, instead of all the wolf coming to pick you up and bite you, right? Even if you try to escape, you cannot. And so if we can have a religious belief and we have the opportunity to accumulate merits, it's very important, especially when we're facing death. So that's why we say take refuge. Take refuge. To go back to the origin, and especially when at the time of leaving the world, and this is exceptionally important. So a lot of our online friends saw the picture when Grandmaster is blessing these, blessed items, and so they really want to purchase the best items. So you can go to Qingming North America to purchase them, and you can, and also some of the things on the table, on Grandmaster's table, if you're interested, maybe they're not on Spain yet, but they can also, so everything on the North America Sabaean website, they're all directly blessed by Master. The Taiwan Sabaean website, Grandmaster also remotely blessed. It's the same. And so first of all, Grandmaster said it's for dispelling evil spirits and also for blessing health and longevity. Say, for example, blessed pu'er tea, it's really good for your health and longevity. And Vajra Peso, it is exceptionally good for the Qingming Festival, for protecting your house, your home. And also the incense burners, and Grandmaster blessed those mother money and put them in the incense burner and to bring us prosperity. And a lot of people, they not only want prosperity, but they also want a very auspicious life. Is there anything else that we can put inside the incense burner? So this type of incense burner with dragon, with the double-eared incense burner. Say, for example, this gold crystal beads, we can also put 3 of them inside. Everything will be, wishes will be, every wishes will be fulfilled, and as if you have the gem, and your children will be like the gem. What kind of child is like a gem? They're always listening, they're always bringing great achievements, make you happy. And so I'm going to put all the blessed beads inside the incense burner. So I will put different kind of blessed items in the different incense burner. So just for this kind of incense burner, because this is an incense burner that will bring us great auspiciousness. It's the Qingming Festival is the best time for us to purchase such an incense burner to bring auspiciousness to our whole family and the whole family tree. Yeah. All right. So this is about it for our teaching today. So now let's get ready to chant. All the people who participate in today's chanting will receive the merits. And all the people who died in the Ukraine and Russian war, and all the people who died in this pandemic, and all of those who died in any of the traffic accidents, or in any kind of transportation vehicles, and all of the special souls who are still wondering, when you hear our chanting, you will receive most compassionate Guanyin Bodhisattva's blessings and light. If you're in sufferings, you're not going to suffer anymore. If you're in sorrow, you're not be sad anymore. And you're also be guided by Medicine Buddha and be blessed by Medicine Buddha's light. And you'll be guided to the Eastern Pure Land by the Medicine Buddha. And if you haven't completed all the connections with the human world in the future, you will be reincarnated into a most wealthy family and nice family. So for all our online friends, for all the wrongdoings that you committed before, and for all your afflictions and all your mistakes, I will bless you, and I will also chant with you to remove all these calamities and grudges, so that every family will be auspicious and beautiful, whether it is in another realm, and whether it is up in heaven or in the human realm, and we'll all be auspicious. So now let's start to chant.
观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。 无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。天堂 제 마하백한제 런자사모 가디소하 dien타 홍백한제 백한제 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 마하백한제 런자사모 가디소하 天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈天塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩 地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡地所哈，颠他吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则 萨萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则玛哈贝堪则兰扎萨摩卡迪梭哈殿塔吽贝堪则贝堪则 Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Hong Bekante Bekante Mahapekante Lanza Samu Kadesoha Dien Ta Om Bekante, Bekante, Mahakala, Lanza Samu, Kadesoha, Yenta, 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 Om Bekante, Bekante, Mahakala, Lanza Samu, Kadesoha,
好，大家何时感恩佛菩萨
Please
加
put
持
your
护佑
hands together and thank Buddhas and Bodhisattvas
一切
for
祖
their
先
blessings,
和各位亡灵
for allowing all ancestors
都能功德无
and
量，
all the
佛光
departed
普照，
souls will be
让一切
bathing
发
in
心
Buddha
念
light,
佛的人都能
So
平安吉祥。
to allow all the people who participated in the chanting to be in peace and auspiciousness.
好，觉真。
Okay, Joyce?
感恩师父。
Thank you, Grandmaster. And today we chanted for our ancestors and all the departed souls, and we sincerely chanted and also dedicate our merits to them. At the same time, there are also a very important thing is to accumulate merits for them. Grandmaster is very auspicious. And he arranged this special Qingming Festival light offerings opportunities for us. And for 7 days, light, it's only $88. It's a very special price. At this time, we need to make the offering with our most sincere heart, and also depending on our financial situation, we can arrange the offering accordingly. and for our ancestors, our previous parents, and so I'm going to show you for our ancestors. Yeah. So what do we do is to go to puticollege.com, and you will see this is a Qingming Festival light offering. And when you go to Qingming Festival light offering, you will see the first light that you see is this Qingming Festival light offering. And when you following the information, so the first who is the offerer, you can write your name, and on the plaque, you can either use the specific name of the deceased person, or you can say it is somebody's ancestor or previous parents. Every plaque is only for one deceased name, because we have so many ancestors. This light is very, very favorable price. We may have like countless ancestors. For all of them to share the light of only one light, it would be much better if we can for every one of them, if they can have a light, that would be the best. But it also depends on our financial situation, so you can just make arrangements accordingly. And we also have the pacifying souls, for chanting, for pacifying the soul or pacifying the house for 15 days, or for this is Guru Rinpoche's blessings to pacify our soul or pacify our house, because it will affect the relationship, or it may affect our fortune. If we can have the light offered in front of Lotus Guru Rinpoche, then so our health, our prosperity, our children will all be protected, be in peace and auspicious. So we have different length of time of this light. For 15 days is a certain price, and 49 days is $880. For 365 days is $3,600 US dollars. This is all US dollars. So if the house really has a lot of, you feel that there's evil energy for a very long time, then maybe you want to have a whole year to pacify the house. Maybe you also want to have the light for pacifying the soul. Maybe at the Qingming Festival, or maybe Ulaanbaatar Festival, you might receive some message from your ancestors, and then you might feel very uneasy. Maybe you cannot eat well, you cannot sleep well, and And therefore, it actually can affect your job or maybe your relationship, and maybe the children sometimes might suddenly, the children maybe cannot sleep well at night or suddenly cry at the night, and maybe they are disturbed by some souls, and maybe they have nightmare, and maybe the night paralysis, and or maybe you have a lot of obstacles. It may also have something to do with the evil spirit and evil energy. And so if you offer the light for pacifying our so for pacifying our souls, and it will also help us to be at ease and relaxed. When our soul is very relaxed and at ease, then everything will be auspicious and peaceful. And so this kind of light, medicine Buddhas, pacifying the mind and heart. We also have different lengths of time. It has 15 days, or 15 days is $280 and 49 days. So it depends. If it is only for recently, you feel like really, really uneasy and really, really uncomfortable and really, really disturbed, then it would be very good that you offer this is actually a very big light. And at the same time, when we're offering light, chanting is very, very important. Our existing students, you all know, and new students, maybe you haven't heard it. When you chant by yourself and chanting by enlightened master is very, very different. So chanting together with Grandmaster will bring us lots of protection and blessings, and protect and bless our whole family too. So thank you, Grandmaster. And today, before the class, Grandmaster has blessed a lot of blessed items, and during the Qingming Festival, maybe a lot of you may have already sensed, many different messages from different beings, different souls. And at this time, we really need the blessed items to protect us, to protect our family, and protect the whole house. Say for example, the Zi bead and all the chanting beads and bracelets. And I see a lot of friends wanted to purchase these incense burners that are on site today. And also, you may also want to purchase the incense too, and to purify the energy field and to ward off the unnecessary energy. And Grandmaster also blessed the pu'er tea. It also helps us to be more peaceful and calm. And and also Grandmaster also blessed the beige outfit today, and these outfits also give us a lot of protections and blessings. So today it's really, really auspicious on such a at this special time to chant together, follow Grandmaster to chant, to accumulate merits for our ancestors. And this is so wonderful. And also Joyce also introduced all the lights. So we have the opportunity to offer the lights for our ancestors, and to honor them and to accumulate merits for them. This is so auspicious. Yeah, so on Qingming Festival, it's very important that we wear Bodhi outfit, because on the outfit it has the Bodhi logos, and or you can, wear the zi bead, or carry the Vajra pestle, or wear the bracelets. These will all bring you lots of protections and blessings. The Grandmaster says, a few days ago, someone told me that there's a child, a few years old, just had a nap, maybe napped for about an hour. But after the nap, he suddenly has, his face was had the paralysis. And yeah, so this child wrote an email to Grandmaster and begged for help. And we were very surprised. Yeah, how come a little child suddenly had the paralysis? And Grandmaster said, about 6 months ago in Vancouver Meditation Center, a student bring a child only about 11 or 12 years old, but his face is like, was like having that paralysis, and his mother has went to see many different doctors, but nobody can help because they couldn't tell what problem it is. Yeah. The child was actually a pretty handsome boy, but the child's face always had that convulsions. I didn't actually I didn't actually use any energy. I just removed the evil spirit from him only a few times, and then he was fine. This child is so lucky. Yeah, so because we have reincarnated for many, many lives, and maybe we have done something wrong to maybe a human being, or maybe a ghost, or who knows, they will come back and take revenge, and they're invisible, and including some undiagnosable diseases. When they suddenly arrive, it's just like suddenly it can manifest as an illness or a cancer, and it's like, or maybe it's just a gust of wind or something, and then maybe they pass away in 3 days, or maybe they suddenly get paralyzed. So all kinds of problems can be caused by the evil energy invaded into the body, and so at this time it's even more important to wear the auspicious and blessed items to protect us. I actually like when they ask, when I grow old, when I leave the world, can we wear the Bodhi outfit? Well, actually, I think, well, yeah, you're very, very smart, very wise. Of course, when you wear the Bodhi outfit, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and even the king of the ghosts, the ghost kings, they all recognize this, and so they won't bring you to the hell. And Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Dharma protectors will welcome you and guide you to the Eastern Pure Land. And well, minimum you should at least go to Transcrimsa heaven, right? So actually, just now I suddenly thought of something. Those very soft and thin clothes. Actually, those you can wear them when you sleep, because especially at night, there are more yin energy. So if you wear those Bodhi t-shirt, those very all kinds of t-shirts. with Grandmaster's artwork on it or logo on it, or a very like a cartoon medicine Buddha, or yeah. And you can also put the Vajra pestle by the maybe beside the pillow. But some people, they're too, stingy. They don't want to use them. Yeah, but those t-shirts, they're very good quality. And in addition to the quality of the t-shirt, the blessing is like you can not find it elsewhere. And when people pass away, the just deceased soul is like a new baby in another world. So there are a lot of other evil spirits or ghosts may maybe kind of like bully you, or maybe send you to a very terrible state. So first, when you can wear those Bodhi clothes and outfit when you're sleeping, or especially when you pass away. And some are saying like, yeah, they like to cover the Bodhi blanket and also the cape. Yeah, the cape is really good. It's very suitable for you when you're meditating. It covers your, your head, your neck, your lower back, your whole back. And so, yeah, so it will become more and more precious when you're very strong. It just seems to be just a cape or just a clothes. But when you are getting weak, and maybe you think that's just a bracelet, but because it's blessed, then yeah, those people who are mediums or psychics, they will be able to see that there's that energy around you from that blessed item. Yeah, so there was a student who had heart disease and was very weak, and so he or she went to see an old traditional Chinese doctor, and that was a very famous doctor, and so it was actually very difficult to even very difficult to even make an appointment with that famous TCM, and he went there with the Bodhi outfit, and that Chinese doctor actually was also a medium, and so he said directly, well, you don't have too much energy. You are almost out of vital energy. The only reason for you to be able to still survive is only because of this. And so the doctor pointed to the Bodhi pagoda, this logo. And so, yeah, this is what a medium, a psychic who can see, yeah. So from what the students reported, whether they have done any merits or not. So in the previous years, every student has extended 10 years of life, average, extended at least 10 years of life. Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Grandmaster. Yeah. Right after I come to Bodhi, I started to wear this type of beige outfit at that time when I purchased, and then they're only supposed to be for Dharma teachers, and when I purchased, that was the last one that I was able to purchase, and it's so durable, I wear it until now. And the sister, well, actually, that was a sister who went to see the famous Chinese doctor. The Chinese doctor actually was so frank and told her that she doesn't have any vital energy at all. And so the sister said, what should I do? The doctor said, well, yeah, you just go there. Yeah, that place is the place where you can be saved. Is it comfortable? Yeah, this is pure cotton. Yeah. So there are lots of points that we can introduce to our students. So yeah, so this kind of material. So at the back of this jacket, it's very breathable and will not stuck on the body, and so very comfortable. And the whole yeah, so the YKK, so even the zipper is YKK zipper is a best quality zipper. So we have already worn this outfit for so many years and never had any problem with the zipper. And also even just the sleeves are very good quality. And also at the back of this jacket, it's hard for us to show the at the back there's a pocket. Yeah. Oh, she doesn't know that there's a pocket there. Did you see? Yeah. So yeah, so there's a pocket at the back, and so and there's a zipper there. You can put yeah. Oh, so Grandmaster says the design is for you to be able to put passport inside. And so if you go out and do energy bagua or run or something, and you cannot, bring a bag, you can put your keys and these important things into this pocket. And so there are lots of very detailed, good designs hidden in this outfit. And I like to wear these kind of outfit, and I noticed that the prices of a lot of things have increased dramatically. Yeah, and very rarely would we be able to find pure cotton. Usually it is like 60% cotton. And then 40% is something else. It's not that they don't want to use cotton. It's just because cotton now is too expensive. The price increased so much. And recently, our suppliers has indicated that the price, the price of the cotton is still increasing. And Grandmaster said, we're not going to raise our price. 就是疫情之前的时候看到，怎么一看到这个服装就知道，这是我们的哪位师兄哪位师姐，就觉得怎么那么轻啊？你要在温哥华有一次 Yeah, before the pandemic, if you just see this, you immediately know that this is our fellow practitioner. Oh, and Joy said there was once at the airport, and someone said, are you from Bodhi Meditation? And then the sister said, yeah. So then they become like. Even though it's at the airport, you don't know each other, all of a sudden you're like just getting so close to each other because you see your same outfit. And, very rarely now you can buy clothes or jacket that's pure cotton. Yeah, so for people who have sensitivity, they might be sensitive to some of the materials. Yeah, so Christine, your jacket, this beige outfit, you've already worn for 10 years, right? It's still so good. Yeah. So the quality of our beige outfit and all these outfits are so good. Usually, I won't, I don't want to show off, but I want to tell you the truth. If you wear these Bodhi outfits, you will be protected by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. All the evil spirits, dare not approach you or attack you or hurt you. And Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will bless you. So I hope everybody will like them. The color of these outfits is very plain, but it's very practical and very comfortable. And so this kind of jacket, even in Singapore, in the tropical area, every family, you have such cold, the air conditioning is sometimes it's so cold. And so sometimes when you feel cold, then you can just wear this jacket and it's breathable, so very comfortable. And someone said, oh, there's something is written on. Wow, something is written on the beige jacket. Oh, so on Joyce it's like merits and virtues, and there's and also the join of the auspicious cloud. On Christine's clothes there is offerings. And there's also this treasure vase. And so Christine said, ever since Grandmaster wrote on it, I don't want to wear it because I'm afraid that it will fade. So Grandmaster said, don't worry. I used a kind of pen for fabric writer. Yeah, so it won't fade. Yeah, so someone said that, oh, right on my clothes, and I started to do. But today, all these beige outfits, they are all blessed by Grandmaster. So Grandmaster, what kind of energy do you bless? Did you send to them? So Buddha light shine on this, and all Buddhas and deities will protect anyone who wear these clothes. It can be worn by a living being or a deceased person. So they will all be blessed. Yeah, so all these blessings. Yeah, so all these charms and everything will be used to help people. And with the blessings, Buddha light will be around us, will embrace us, and even can prevent being stolen. So I hope everybody will cherish these. I think we only have a few of them, like 150 of them. After you purchase them, that's all we have. So a lot of these blessed items, if you use them or when you sleep, you put by your pillow, like the Vajra pestle or the fur bar. So fur bar needs to stand up so that you can be protected. First of all, it will promote the practice, and in addition to that, it will also protect us. We don't need to use special terms here, and so just use these words so you can understand what it helps. So the protection of all these blessed items are very important during Qingming Festival and Ulaanbaatar Festival, and we talked about your mind is not very calm and quite disturbed, or maybe the house is kind of not very peaceful. All the blessed items can help. What is the mind is disturbed? It may indicate that there's a big problem is going to happen, or it indicates that your ancestors are suffering in the other world, or maybe it's because you have too much money. You need to lose that money. So your heart feels like a rabbit is jumping all the time, and you don't have anything to worry about. But how come you're so uneasy? And maybe your eyes always blink. And sometimes some people say, oh, when your left eye blinks, indicates something. Right eye blinks, it indicates other things. Well, whichever eye blinks, if it blinks too much, it doesn't feel good. And when your heart beats too much, it's not heart disease than what it is. So sometimes there's something invisible, but when you have a blessed item to protect you so that your body and mind will be purified and at ease, so you will be very easeful, and all those uneasiness and those fear and problem. What I mean by problem is not a small issue. It usually is not small. You need very powerful, compassionate energy to bless you so that your body and mind will be at ease. Do you still remember the second patriarch when he met Dharma? Yeah, Dharma. The Dharma master. So okay, I'll pretend to be the second patriarch. Oh, Dharma master, could you help me? I'm always, uneasy. Okay, so I can help you. So how do you? Okay, first. Yeah. So the second patriarch is talking to the first patriarch. So first, you need to give me your heart. Then I will pacify it. Thank you, Dharma Patriarch. Now my heart is settled. Oh my gosh. The Dharma Patriarch actually Patriarch Bodhidharma. The second patriarch, do you know how many people? Hui Ke, the second patriarch, has killed. It's not. Yeah, it's not that he has something in his heart. It's just though all those souls that he killed is disturbing him. But the Patriarch Bodhidharma, because he's already the Buddha, I can settle your heart. And a lot of people think, oh, I can't give you the heart for an enlightened being. When he raised his hand, Buddha light is here. And so he raised his hand, then all those souls have already been pacified and settled. Of course, all these souls are already in heaven and in Pure Land. So that's why Patriarch Bodhidharma said, okay, give me your heart, I will pacify it. For the second Patriarch, he already is at ease. When Buddha Dharma shines on it, it actually completely pacified his heart and mind. For a little child always have bleeding nose. It was a story 35 years ago. The child who always had bleeding nose, his face then became very, very pale, and his lips are so bloody, but his face is like pale white. And so in English, he's going to die. Yeah, in Chinese, 挂掉. In English, is die. And his parents are police officers. And so this child is about to die. So what can they do? Oh, it's because of evil spirits entering the body. The police officers, they don't, the parents, they don't believe. Well, they gave me a lot of money. I said, I don't need those money, but your child is about to lose his life. Unless you have good relationship with the god of hell, and so you can change his lifespan. And then the parents say, who can change that? Whatever doctor you find, how can they change that lifespan now? But I did. Until now, this child, at that time, he was 8 years old. Now it's already 30 years later, and he's still alive. He's still alive, and he still have the bleeding. He's still alive. So sometimes when somebody dies, they will tell a story. Oh, it's because of cancer, or maybe because of a blood disease. Because, well, yeah, you say, and then, okay, you can accept, oh, this kind of disease cannot be cured. So you just give yourself a reason to die. But actually, there are lots of things that can be changed. But that's not very easy, especially to completely change the lifespan. The child's parents actually begged me for a whole month. And they were so sincere that every time they saw me, they're trembling. Actually, every single time when I saw the child, I gave him that Buddhaly love. It's already a blessing. And then the second day, he stopped bleeding and he can sleep. And then the child would push his parents to go and come to see me. And then the child would tell his parents to bring the best stuff to bring to me. I don't care what they bring. It's just because of their respect. I know it's still not easy to cure. And I told them, think about yourself. I mean, be honest. Have you killed anyone or wronged someone? In order for you to get some credit, you actually wronged someone who has no mistake. And the child said, oh, he can see a shadow over there on the ceiling, or they can, when the child goes to the washroom, he can see some shadows maybe in the washroom. And then, so I asked the parents to repent. And I also asked them to make offerings to my master, and my master chanted 3 days for them to release the souls of all those wrong souls and dead souls. The child's lifespan can only be 8.5 years. My master knows that I have a good relationship with the god of hell, and so I had a dream to go there. I went to see the god of hell, and he has a book there with the child's name. Child's lifespan is 8 years and 4 days. And I said, please change it. I cannot tell you more details. I went there directly and changed it. Well, but the god of hell said, no, he did a lot of wrong things. We cannot change. But I said, he has already regretted and repented and has already accumulated merits. And my master has already released all the dead souls, and those wrong souls, they're not angry anymore. So the god of hell finally agreed, okay. And so the child is still alive right now. At that time, whatever doctor, whoever they went to see couldn't help him. And so some doctors just tell the parents, give more good food to the child. Yeah, the child is already, 8 years old, and so he already knows. What does that mean? Just give him good food. What does that mean? Yeah. So this actually teaches me when we're alive, we need to do everything that is kind and nice. Yeah, so all these disasters, calamities, or illnesses or something actually are all because of some wrongdoings. And so that child's mother used to be very mean and always angry with the neighbors. And at the first time when she came to see me, she was very impolite. Yeah. So when she was like that, I really didn't want to help them. Because she has done a lot of wrong things, but the child was very kind, and he was actually the one who saved himself, and he touched his parents because he didn't show like, oh, I'm a police officer, I can do anything I want. And so the child guided the parents to change, and eventually the child's fate was changed. So this is something happened over 30 years ago. So this has proved that if the ancestors, they have already had any, bad karmas, actually the offspring will suffer. So we need to learn to respect ancestors, seniors, and love the younger ones. And we always try to do virtuous deeds and be a role model for our children. I hope everybody to become a very compassionate and kind person. So only in this way, our family will be in harmony, everything will be good, and our ancestors will be happy. So the happiness of our ancestors and including our ancestors can be elevated to heaven or Pure Land, then we can have a good life. If we don't have any merits from our ancestors, if we have a lot of good things happening, then one day it will explode. Say, for example, we're only supposed to have $1 million. If we already have $10 million, then this $10 million would be like a tumor or a tomb. It can explode at any time. So I hope everybody will understand this. So tomorrow at the same time we will continue. Yeah. So that $10 million will like a bomb and will explode. So I wish everybody health, happiness, auspiciousness, and wish fulfillment. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time.
我与您相遇，小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定。